Welcome to part 7. This is an optional video focused on utilizing recreational drones for the purposes of storm observing and damage surveying. Again, this is an optional video for people who have recreational drones. Drones are a popular thing. Nearly 500,000 recreational drones are owned in the United States. Drones with cameras can be quite useful for both storm spotting and damage surveying. This short portion of the training is for those who have a drone and wish to participate in such efforts using their technology. While National Weather Service offices do not utilize drones for operations, they, like local TV stations, can accept images or video captured from drones, such as storm observations and damage. Drones can be useful for storm observing in situations where there are tall objects like trees or buildings blocking your view. Wouldn't it be nice to just send a drone up to just above these obstacles to get a clear view of what's coming? Sounds like a great utilization of a drone, but there's one important problem that makes this challenging. Severe storms tend to occur in environments with strong vertical wind shear, that is, increasing wind speeds and changing directions with height. A 10-mile-per-hour wind at the surface may become 20 or 30-mile-per-hour winds a few hundred feet above the ground, and could be 40 to 50-mile-per-hour winds 1,000 feet above the ground. As a rule of thumb, recreational drones can handle wind that is up to 2/3 its maximum flying speed. So most drones likely can handle 15 to 20 mile-per-hour winds, but stronger winds make flying difficult. There are no official weather observations taken at treetop level. Thus, it's important to estimate winds based on movement of branches or leaves near treetop level. Substantial motion likely indicates wind that may be too strong for recreational drone flight. Here are some wind examples. The left example is likely associated with winds that could be approaching 20 miles per hour. Might support drone flight, but there could be some risk. The right example shows much stronger wind, likely approaching or exceeding 30 miles an hour, which would be tough conditions to fly a drone. Even if you could, images captured would likely not be usable with the craft bouncing around in the wind. In addition to observing storms, drones could be quite invaluable for viewing the full path of storm damage, which might otherwise be very difficult to assess from the ground, especially in areas where there are very few roads. This could be done after winds above the ground lighten, even a few days after an event. In a damage survey, it's important to get an overview display of the damage path from a higher elevation, as well as zoomed in damage areas from a lower elevation so as to be able to recognize the type of destroyed structures, the type of the debris that's been blown around, and so forth, as well as to get estimates of how long and wide the damage path is. There are a few straightforward rules for drone damage surveying. First and most important is to follow FAA rules for flying recreational drones. Those rules include flying always within line of sight, flying no higher than 400 feet above the ground, not flying within FAA restricted areas, near active airports or near flying aircraft. It's also important to register your drone with the FAA, even if just for recreational purposes. Secondly, it's important to get permission to fly over private property. Avoid getting images of people, respect their privacy. So ask for permission to fly over damaged property. You can offer to share recorded images with the property owners, which could be useful for their insurance purposes. To learn more about FAA guidelines with respect to drones and to register your drone, you can go to this website, www.faaregisterdrone.com. So, if you capture images or video of a storm or damage, what should you do with that? You could share it online through social media. You can offer it to your local National Weather Service office or to a local TV station weather department, which might display it on the air. The images that you get can be of great use to confirm that a hazard occurred. This could lead to warnings for downstream communities, as well as to more accurately document what actually occurred once the event is over. Here's an optional assignment for you, but I think it may be worth doing. You can view a number of drone observations or damage survey videos from drones online. You can simply use Google search phrases like drone tornado damage video or drone flood video. And you can view several of the videos to get a sense of how they recorded damaged scenes. Note the drone height above the ground and how they tracked along a damaged path. How would you answer this question? You notice damage to trees and a house from yesterday's storm. The residents of the house are cleaning up the mess left behind. You want to capture the damage from a loft using your recreational drone. Which should you do? What's the correct answer? Pause the video a moment if you need more time. The answer will display momentarily. B is the correct answer. It's really important to respect privacy and to ask permission before flying your drone over a person's property. Most people will allow it and likely would be grateful for a copy of the images for their insurance claims. How about this question? True or false? With big storms approaching, you want to fly your drone above the surrounding trees to get a good view. It's a breezy day and you note stronger winds aloft by seeing the treetops blowing around. While it is safe to fly your drone in these conditions, you will need to use caution as the turbulence of the wind will cause the flying to be rather choppy. It's really not safe to fly your drone in turbulent winds. It most likely will cause a crash. And even if not, the imagery probably won't be very useful. So the answer here is false. You have completed this optional Part 7 video. If you have problems correctly answering the questions in this video or are uncertain about the material from it, please review it again. When you sign up as a storm watcher, be sure to indicate that you have a drone for use in storm observing or damage surveying. Thank you.